Hi, today I'm gonna make a presentation about Tekfur Palace, and its other name is the Palace of Blacherney. Tekfur Palace is situated within the limits of Fatih district of Istanbul and district of Edirne. The thick-walled palace, constructed adjacent to the walls of the land between Edirne and Edirne, is called Porphyrogenitos, meaning that born in purple, which is the Constantine VII Flavius Porphyrogenitus was born in the 10th century, and he was born in a purple room. So that's why he gave this name to this palace. The palace was a part of a greater palace complex of Blacherney, and here we can see the palace picture of the last century. The palace was constructed adjacent to the walls of Istanbul between Edirne and Edirne. Palace of Porphyrogenitos is also known in Turkish history as the empire's home, in addition to having a deep-seated history. Although the palace is named after the 10th century emperor Constantine VII Porphyrogenitus, but no one knows when the palace was built and by whom this palace was built. So the palace was built before then 10th century, and we have no information about that. Here you can see now the palace became a museum. The palace served as a part of Blacherney Palace complex, which was often used by Byzantine emperors starting from the 12th century. As one of the 16th century, the building was later named by Europeans as the Great Palace of Constantinople, which is Palatium Constantini, and later on is the Palace of Porphyrogenitus, built on a location dominating the surrounding area and protected by the city's towers. The historical building is described as a high palace in old sources. The palace was also used as a glass and ceramics workshop in Ottoman period, and gained its deserved reputation for high-quality products produced in it. The examples of ceramic, glass, and crockery that have since been produced in the museum's workshop after the restoration in a manner which competes with the original workshop reputation after the restoration are displayed in a separate museums. Here we can see some of the examples of the glass, ceramics, and crockery during the Ottoman period. The palace once again fell into ruin in the 17th century, though thankfully the palace of the time was depicted with its roof by Piri Reis in his drawing. It was after this that the palace became a glass and ceramic workshop, and also the palace was used also as an elephant stable and as a zoo during the Ottoman period. I mean, the other part of this palace was used for those reasons. Palace became a ruin made up of four walls at the beginning of the 20th century, but succeeded in remaining standing thanks to repairs it underwent from 1955 to 1970s. The palace is just as important as a reflection of Byzantine civil architecture as it is for long history. The most impressive part of this palace from the architectural perspective is its north face, which overlooks a courtyard located between the lines of the wall. And that is the location of the palace from the Google Maps. It's close to Ayub district. On the northern wall, casemates look inwards, while in the middle of the external front of the said wall, a small chapel is located within an accession of on marble brackets. The roof, which was rebuilt during the restoration, is covered with Turkish ceramics. The arched walled lower floor and the wooden floors above it have been completed, while the staircases has been replaced with one of a modern design. So these are sources, and thank you all for listening.